Hello, narrative breakers. Bill Clinton is now breaking the internet for claiming that Democrats are afraid. Matter of fact, scratch that. Terrified of Donald Trump's return, and it leads to implications of all of them going to prison, aka Gitmo, which, in my opinion, is somewhat deserved.
Donald Trump will be returning to the White House, unburdened by the pressure of re-election, with sweeping immunity granted to him, I believe, by the Supreme Court, and an alleged enemies list we're hearing. Do you think it would be wise of President Biden to preemptively pardon any potential targets? What about your wife, Hillary Clinton? She apparently is on Kash Patel's list.
For what?
Yeah.
Well, they got a problem with her because first she did.
There's a lot of reasons why they got problems with Hillary Clinton. And you guys know I like to normally do a little deep dive about just the scenarios that I pause on. And unfortunately for me, for YouTube, and fortunately for Hillary Clinton, you can't really expose everything that you really should expose on Hillary Clinton on YouTube. Hillary Clinton has done things so heinous, so disgusting, that you would actually get banned off this platform for speaking about it in verbatim. So, you know, she's not really a good person in the bare minimum. And I want everyone also to be aware that there are now rumors and reports that Hillary, is going to make another presidential run in 2028, which will make sense why Bill Clinton would come here and bring out this plea. He's about to plea for Joe Biden to make sure he makes his wife immune, because they're going to need her.
Didn't do anything wrong.
Of course.
Second, she followed the rules exactly as they were written. Third, Trump's State Department found. They remember how the emails were such a big issue in 2016? Trump's State Department found that Hillary sent and received exactly 0 classified emails on her personal device.
She sent and received personal classified emails. So I'm trying to figure out, does people remember that this was sent off a government server, off a government computer? It doesn't mean that it was personal. She didn't send it from her personal address. Now, that is very interesting. You see, there were multiple email addresses that were investigated. Now, personal, you see that terminology used. It's very specific. She wasn't really using personal computers, just so you guys to know. Her laptop wasn't a personal computer. So could we call those personal emails? They were business emails. Those Hillary Clinton emails that were leaked, they were government-tied emails. So by definition, they're not personal emails. By definition, if information leaks that's damning to Hillary Clinton through business emails, you can find yourself on a view and state that, well, her personal emails never got leaked. Well, we're not talking about the personals. We're talking about the stuff that actually affects our government, affects the American people, the information that our enemies isn't supposed to know about. That's the concern. But let's go ahead and continue to his plea.
It was a made-up, phony story.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess if Kash Patel is determined to make one up, he could do it. But I think if President Biden wanted to talk to me about that, I would talk to him about it. But I don't think I should be giving public advice on the pardon power. I think it's a very personal thing. But it is, I hope he won't do that.
Yeah.
Trump, you know, most of us get out of this world ahead of where we'd get.
I want to say something. He froze just then when he was saying, I hope you don't do that. Trump, when he looked down at the ground, is it just me? Am I looking too deep into this? Because I'll tell you what, it looks like he started to reminisce. And to me, that's a look of fear. He started to glimpse into the future. And this is just me. Look back. He started to glimpse into the future and seen something very, very disturbing, either set for him or Hillary Clinton. He's aware of what's coming. You guys got to understand that the Democrats know retribution is coming. That's why they keep pushing this. That's why they keep trying to put the narratives for pardons. You got to understand, right before Joe Biden was put out, Democrat media was putting out the narrative that he possibly might actually be old, that he might actually have dementia. They started putting doubt on his ability to lead. We're seeing something very, very similar right here. We're seeing a narrative get set in place before the result comes. And this narrative is pardon these people that tried to do wrong by Trump. Pardon these people that conspired against our nation to ensure that they can survive this I don't want to call it a second coming because that sounds Christian, but it is Trump's second coming. And similar to the second coming in the Bible, and please, I'm not comparing him to Christ. Retribution. There's judgment day coming for people. And it looks like it. They are now doing these press briefings. They're running all over the country. They're sympathizing with the Americans, saying be vocal. And they're afraid. This isn't a typical transition of power. People are acting as if their lives are on the line.
If all we got was simple justice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's normally a fool's errand to spend a lot of time trying to get even.
Yeah, agreed.
But if he pardons them, that sort of implies that they did something wrong, which they didn't.
Well, I have a question, actually, about...
How are you sleeping now? What's going to happen now?
I'm sleeping.
So right here in this next segue, Bill Clinton breaks down how he's been feeling and, you know, the effects of the election. Something that a lot of people might miss, I hope you don't miss when this comes up right here, is how he doesn't mention Kamala Harris' name, but call it the alternative. Now, I do believe that Kamala Harris was never the choice that he wanted and many other Democrats didn't want. I think the fact that he refusing to name her and trying to move beyond her, it exemplifies the fact that that was all Obama's doing. And they were just towing the line, listen to what he had to say, and now they regret listening to Obama. And I tell you what, guys, I do believe Obama's reign, it dies off after this. Yeah, I do believe it dies off after this because he screwed up multiple times. You guys got to understand, Obama was the one that endorsed Hillary Clinton during the first time, right? He did not select his VP to run as president then. He snaked his VP until Elizabeth Warren cooked Michael Bloomberg on stage during that next election. So you got to see, Obama never really wanted Joe to be president. Maybe these presidents wanted it to be Joe. Maybe Bill wanted it to be Joe. So you can tell that the Obama recommendation hasn't been towing well, and it's somewhat lost his grip on the Democrat reality. People aren't going to be so quick to jump on what Obama said because, unfortunately, yes, Obama might have had the most successful Democrat campaign that we've lived through, or at least for most of us. I'm a millennial. But things get old. Hey, the things that got Ronald Reagan and, and JFK into office aren't the same approaches that can win today. Things change. Now, you can have some similarities, but things do change ultimately. And the problem is the Democrat Party has depended on Obama's formula for far too long. It is now dated, and it is now losing them elections, and I think they're starting to accept this. Now they're getting prepared of ways to protect themselves so they can come back and hit harder after Trump's administration.
Better now because I did everything I could for the alternative.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I also
That's it, the alternative. That's Kamala Harris he's speaking on.
think it's important for everybody to just take a deep breath and say, unlike in 2016, there was no outside influence like the FBI director interfering at the last moment and violating.
So now he's alluding to the 2016 election being rigged, yes, but in Republicans' favor, which is crazy. These are the same statements that got people arrested, mind you, when it's Republicans saying it. And I think I just said not too long ago that liberals only care when they lose. Now it's a chance that an election could have been taken. He's regurgitating that same BS, claiming that the powers that be came in to swoop in and take the election away from Clinton.
70 years of policy that changed 5% overnight. In my lifetime, I've never seen a poll change 5% overnight. So anybody that says that he didn't give Trump the election.
A poll changed 5%. Oh my God, we're talking about he's saying that is crazy when Joe Biden got the most votes ever. Yet, like what, 18 million or so fell off the next election. Never seen that in my life. Like I said, Democrats choose which narrative they want to regurgitate, and they hold on to it with dear life. When it fails, they'll never mention it again. You know how do I know? How many Democrats still mention the Ghost of Kiev, supposed to be that jet fighter that was from Ukraine? Come to find out he never existed. He was a video game character. How many Democrats are still calling J.D. Vance weird? Y'all remember that narrative? The whole he's weird thing, the Trump's are weird. It didn't work. They on to something new. That's why I'm surprised Obama has been able to last so long, because Democrats are quick to cut something off if it's not working. It's sad what we're witnessing. We're actually witnessing the fall of the Democrat Party, and now they've gone from a position of power and dominance to a position of submission and obedience. They are now pleading with Trump, pleading with the government for a chance to save themselves. Oh, how the tables have turned.
You know, needs
Think
some,
about it again.
yeah. But this time, Donald Trump won the race fair and square, I think.
What do you mean you think?
Well, I mean,
And then this time, that's absolutely disgusting. One thing I do want to say with old Bill, I do find it odd that almost every Democrat is claiming that he's got it legitimately and he's the rightful president and they want to work with him. That's why I say I think they heard something through the grapevine that he ain't fucking around this time. Because why are all these Democrats saying, well, regardless of what happened in the past, he's president, we need to move past this. This is a unhinged party. Why are they all so ready to work with Trump? Why are they all better than me? Why did John Fetterman make a Truth Social profile today and come out and attack Democrats? Why are they eating themselves alive? It's as if they are saving their skin. I'm telling you, I think he's going to hit back harder than any presidential return we ever seen. I do believe retribution and revenge is coming. I can't say I approve of revenge, but I do believe it's coming. I do believe it's coming. Trump taking the high road? He could. But do I believe it? No. I'm just being honest with you guys. I don't see a high road being taken, at least not for everyone, because they did too much, too hard. And he's human. Not only human, let's be real. President Trump isn't even the youngest man out there. They've taken some of his latter years out of his life. Who's to say he's wrong for adding stress on their youth?
I mean, I'm not like him. I have to have proof, some evidence to make a charge. Mm-hmm. So as far as I know, he won it. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of reasons why.
Yeah.
But, and look, I grew up.
So to have evidence to make a charge, that's all they need. Bro, we had hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of data about 2020. For him to say that you got to have some evidence, all he gave was one excuse. Talking about a poll with a 5% chance. So you telling me all we need is a 5% change in a poll the day before the election for you to claim that it was possibly stolen, but we can't have limitless tons of data about ballot. I can't even get into it because you know, guys, I'll get banned. But you telling me all they need is a small piece of data to question the legitimacy of an election, when we can have months of details, trace all the way back to Dominion's origins in Venezuela, the Dominion voting machines. I mean, we got data on data all the way from Hugo Chavez. I could talk to you guys for the next 6 hours about the problems with 2020, in my opinion. But yet all he has to do is talk about a polling percentage difference to claim that the election was stolen. How do you guys not see this as unfair? They have to only provide a little bit to claim a lot. Conservatives have to claim an absolute ton of shit just to be told that it's not that important.
In Trump country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
there
my
goes that
native state, Arkansas, moved as far to the right from 2008 through 2016 as any country, any state in the country. Mm-hmm. And they had these great little, the Trump people had these great little Facebook clubs that had answers to what all our friends were saying to them in the campaigns. So these are hard-fought campaigns, and the people on both sides care a lot about politics, and there's a lot more of this going on in rural America than you may think, where people are very discussing these issues in a very sophisticated way, and why they look at it the way they do. So I think what we have to do is to observe a peaceful transfer of power, stand up for what we believe, and work together when we can.
They all keep stressing that peaceful transition of power, and it gives me PTSD of 2020 because they were trying to kind of force that down our throat, if you guys remember. When Trump was saying, oh, there's something wrong, they kept saying, no, ignore the yellow, man. Peaceful transition, peaceful transition, peaceful transition. They kept beating it in our heads. I feel like the energy is a lot more depressing from the Democrats now. Am I wrong? Now when I see them talk about peaceful transition of power, it comes from sorrow. And it comes from somewhat hope that they're hoping that it'll be peaceful for them. For them, not for America. You guys got to understand that fear comes for them, not for America.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do not think we should just be jamming them, even though
we don't know.
They do that to us a lot. I think it's a mistake.
I want to ask you, Donald Trump was in part elected this time around by getting some of your original base. The base that propelled you to win victory twice was working class voters, very much the backbone of America. And over the last 20 years, we've seen a lot of those shift to the Republican side. What do you attribute this to, and what do Democrats need to do to try to get the working class coalition back?
Well, I think part of it is cultural. That is, all over the world, people that live in rural areas are more conservative. I remember, I'll never forget, when I got out of office, the Chinese government asked my foundation to come work on AIDS. And they said, look, the Chinese people still like you. You came here and you made an outreach to us, and the rural people are scared of AIDS. So we want you to go out there where the rates are high and be televised, playing with kids on the floor, eating dinner with their parents, doing these.
Pause. Oh my God. I know I ain't the only one that got a pause on that. Whoa. I'm not alluding to nothing, but man, I wouldn't want to hear those words from old Bill. I don't want to hear those words. I don't want to hear Bill talking nowhere near like that, man. Hey, Bill, I don't want to see, hear, or think you talking like that. Please don't repeat those words. Please, for the love of God, no one never let Bill Clinton please repeat those words ever again. Bro, what?
Things, and give them a chance to adjust to this. So I said, okay, I'll try. And there's a lot of that here. And I see it every time I go home. We just went back to Arkansas because we had the 20th anniversary of the opening of my library. And the people that were with me 32 years ago when I started, I can't believe that, they're still there.
Yeah.
But the world moves on, and things that once made sense to people don't anymore, and things that should make sense don't anymore. And we need to quit screaming at each other and listen to each other.
Yeah.
We need to have a serious conversation about these things. And I think one of the things that Democrats sometimes do is give up on too many people because the demographics say they're not going to be for us. Well, that may be, but, if you don't deal with something that's controversial just because you don't want to hear it, that's like an insult to voters.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
And I think, I tell everyone, this is my pink elephant in the living room story. If Whoopi and I have been friends for years. So suppose Whoopi goes and redoes her living room. Then I get invited to come see it. And I know it's going to be nice. And I walk in, and sure enough, it's really pretty. Except that in the corner, there's a beautiful round couch, and standing behind the couch is a pink elephant. Now, if I stay there with her for 2 hours, and I drink her coffee, and maybe we'll have something else to drink, and we have a good time.
Pause again. This dude is fucking creepy.
But I never mentioned the pink elephant. What's going to happen when I walk out of the room? She's going to think, I thought that guy was my friend. I thought he cared about me. If he had really cared about me, we'd have talked about why in the living daylights I got this pink elephant in the room, right?
I like the sound of the pink elephant.
I'm telling you, this is a big problem for people who aren't.
It's scary that this dude was a president with this big kindergarten-ass analogy. Holy shit. I swear it sounds like my nephew talking about this pink elephant story. These people.
Comfortable with these kind of conversations. And we're always going to have differences. And we are very narrowly divided now on many things. But I think you shouldn't run away from the tough ones. You should turn into them. And I think it will help bring us back together. I may be wrong, but that's what I think.
Bill Clinton.
I do like what he said. You don't run away from the tough ones, turn into them. But I want to say this. That didn't have a damn thing to do with the pink elephant story. And I hope you guys have been following, because I don't think I'm the only one that's lost. I just believe that's a senile old man that was losing his way. But let's look right here of how much the tone changed from the Clinton, just from today. That was today, that just aired actually like an hour or so ago with The View, compared to just about 2 months ago.
Makes me think about my dad in Western Kentucky. When I was growing up out there, my dad and all the other guys like my dad, blue-collar guys, they love Bill Clinton. All Clinton guys. And now my dad and every single one of them that I know, all Donald Trump guys. And when I see him come out here tonight and I think about the audience in this convention, I think the Democratic Party did once have a bunch of people who Bill Clinton would appeal to. I think they're gone. I think the people who, the blue-collar labor piece of the Democratic Party that propelled Bill Clinton in the 90s has completely and totally migrated over to Donald Trump. And so I wonder about the younger audience and how they view somebody like Bill Clinton today, because he's not a blue-collar hero to them. They know a lot of other things about him that, frankly, make me wonder how in the world he still makes these kinds of stages, to be honest.
It's confusing. He's still able to make the stages over the things that he's done. And to add on to that, my father ended up voting for Bill Clinton and now Donald Trump. You see, there was already remnants of this loss coming up for Kamala Harris. And something else that made it interesting, they worked harder for Kamala Harris because she was she was one of their worst candidates. That's why you saw her constantly surrounded by all these presidents, because they understood men like my father, men like Scott Jenner's father, they were done with the Democrat Party, and they needed to remind them that, hey, this is still the party of those people that you liked before. They were literally trying to win the election off nostalgia. And here's the witch from the Wicked West.
Thank you very much. I'm trying my best. I can't wait to read the book. Please, I would be honored. Let's do it.
Can you believe that they're saying Hillary Clinton will be running, most likely, for president in 2028? Can we do it again?
Okay, and then if I
can we put her out again?
Get everybody right here, please.
That woman has to be reptilian something. I don't know. This wasn't that much of a long video. Not too much to break down. Just really, this is my we'll call this an appetizer for the day. This is an appetizer for the day. You know, we're gonna get to our main course meal tonight, as we always do, because we post 2 a day. Well, I should say I post. I don't know why I keep saying we. I'm doing all the edits and everything myself. Please like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next post. You might have already missed this one. Who knows? You might be 3 hours late, 4 hours later, 5 months late, but that would not happen if you click that notification bell. See you on the next one. Thank you, guys. Much love. Thank you again.